Hey everybody, how's it going? This is going to be my video for my Blasphemous Faith build. It is a 150 build. We are straight maxed out on Faith with an 80 hard cap. Dex and Strength are baseline to hold our weapon. Endurance is 20. Vigor is at a 50 hard cap. That way you don't just get one shot by Melania when you fight her. And my dump stat was mined with it being 25. So just to give you guys some perspective into this build. Incantations right now, in my personal opinion, 42 hours, 43 hours into the game, they're not good. They're actually quite awful. And your only way you're going to get really good damage is through the Blasphemous Blade. Both its attack patterns being its one hand and its two hand are good. And then, you know, its weapon art is extremely good. So with this build, originally I was trying to do like a full faith build, like incantations all together, but it just doesn't work. It doesn't. They're not as strong as sorceries. So to get like your big dick damages, I've maxed out on basically just making the Blasphemous Blade hit like a truck. So we have Shard of Alexander to greatly boost our the attack power of our skill, being you know, the weapon art. Same thing going for Godfrey's Icon. Fire Scorpion Charm raises the fire attacks, but, you know, lowers our damage and negation. And you can either switch between the Old Lord's Talisman or a couple of these. You could go for Urtree's Favor if you want a little bit more HP. It's only like 72 HP, or no, it's actually 68 HP. You can go Green Turtle Talisman if you really want to try, you know, to make incantations work. Flasks Canvas Talisman works. If you want to spam a little bit better, Carrion's Filigree Crest is all right. I think this crest is worthless. I think Radagon's needs a buff because it really doesn't shorten casting time by that much, especially for incantations. Incantations take a really long time to make work. As far as armor goes, it's fashion. I tried to make it as edgy fireman as possible, so we're running Malekith's gauntlets and greaves, and then Sanguine Noble hood and robes. You could run Bloodlord's robes. I just think it looks way worse. And also, like, it's less heavy. Urtree Seal. The further you go above with the hard cap, the better the scaling on this is. And obviously, you know, Blasphemous Blade plus 10. So we are running buffs. You could go without running buffs and like your AR won't be that bad. Like, obviously we're sitting at 787 on our AR, but if you go with buffs, like, so basically Golden's Vow and Flame Grant Me Strength are going to be your key buffs. So with Golden's Vow, Flame Grant Me Strength, and Wondrous Flask, we're sitting at 1197 or 1196. Sorry, the Wondrous Flask has fire damage up. The reason why I'm running the Lord's Talisman, if I can find it, is so it extends the duration of our buffs. So with that, we're seeing more damage come out of this More damage come out of Taker's Flame, and it's just better overall. I'm gonna be honest with you, you're not gonna go into a boss fight and just mollywop Mechalith or the two-headed dragon whose name is escaping right now, like Phalanx or something along those lines. But this build, for the most part, will mollywop everything else. Like, you won't have a hard time. Obviously, Melania and Phalanx being the only exceptions. If you don't want to run fire, I can understand that. If you wanted to run something else, I would personally, honestly recommend the Halo Scythe. I use this through my entire playthrough, and its weapon art is stupid. It has the benefit of blood loss, which right now is insane. That could change at any time when From Software just decides to nerf it out of nowhere. Funny enough, this weapon actually has the best scaling with just straight faith, but its moveset is garbage. It's horrible. Like, it does weird, like, I'll show you. It does these weird, like, it's coming back. Like, it's doing that, like, kind of thing. And this kind of has, like, a similar, where it does that and it throws out, like a line, like an arc, and then it buffs itself for a couple of seconds. No, not even close to being better than this. If you're not dumb like me and you just beeline it to Volcano Manor and pick this up as soon as possible, you're going to have a way better time than I did. I was kind of dumb and didn't do that. As far as spells go, you have a couple of options. The only spell that I'm really running is Burno Flame. You can run Flame of the Fell God. You can run Giant Flame, Take Thee. Personally, I would run Scarlet Aeon. Iona? Something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. The Frenzy spells do a lot of damage with the only drawback of Madness. Personally, the only Frenzy spell I would recommend is the Flame of Frenzy, just because it just does ridiculous amounts of damage and you don't stack that much Madness on it. Frenzied Burst, not as good as Lightning Spear. Lightning Spear is also just bad. Unendable Frenzy is horrible because it's the closest thing you're going to get to a constant spell, but your Madness will stack so much that it'll just Madness you, and then you'll be stuck there for about 5 seconds, and the boss will have its way with you within those 5 seconds. Inescapable Frenzy is hilarious in PvP and to bosses that are your size, where you can just grab them and scream down into their mouth and they just die. I guess I've seen this work in PvP. I don't recommend it for boss fights. It's bad. Blackblade is also bad, personally. Lightning Spear is all right early game, but it falls off heavily. Ancient Dragon's Lightning Spear is kind of bad too. If you're gonna run one, I would honestly run the better one, which is the double Lightning Spear. But best bang for your buck, just run Burno Flame and then your weapon art. Your weapon art's gonna do most of your damage. I'm gonna be honest with you. You're basically just running the weapon art. It's as sad as that is to say, that's how it is right now until Incantations get a buff. But yeah, that's really about it. I don't have much else to say other than, these are my flasks. Mimic got nerfed, so I run Teach. Teach is kind of hit and miss too right now, though. So, I mean, like, if you feel comfortable with the Mimic, run it. I mean, obviously with this, if you're not running, you know, a lot of spells, the benefit is that he won't just randomly cast a spell out of nowhere. Like, worst case scenario, he'll cast Burn O' Flame, and then it'll do a wide AoE attack. But most of the time, if you're running less spells, he'll just auto attack and try to soak damage. But yeah, this is the build. I don't think there's anything better out there as far as like just pure, straight, unadulterated faith build. Was running Magma Worm's Scale Blade, and it's okay. It's not as good as Blasphemous Blade, because Blasphemous Blade has the passive of giving you health back as well. If you're going to do anything else, honestly, Halo Scythe. Halo Scythe, in my opinion, is just good in general. I think with this, straight up, if you wanted to change this out for the Holy One, and then trade this for Carrions, I think the Holy Scythe would be interesting to see work, because ironically, it does. Its weapon art is cheap and it does a lot of damage. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this build. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about this, you know, please let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you've seen. But yeah, I hope everybody has a great day, and I will see you guys in the next one.